I know it's been 9 months of challenges and problems, but it's time to go home to your owner. I'm not talking about the dog. I'm talking about the Karmann Elektra. Welcome to another episode of Disrepair. On this episode, we're going to cover our long-term project, the 1969 Karmann Ghia, nicknamed the Karmann Elektra. Now, if you guys remember this car, we picked it up and it was in pretty rough shape. But I think the thing that you're probably going to be most impressed with is that this car is now fully electric. I'd really like to catch y'all up on where we are today, and I know you don't have time to watch all the footage we've taken, so you know what that means. It's time for a montage.
Yeah, it's had the dreaded Karmann Ghia nose punch.
The following takes place between midnight and 1 a.m. Events occur in real time.
Well, we have just absolutely been thrashing on the Karmann Ghia, trying to get it ready. You know, you've seen us install the batteries. We've obviously got the motor in the back now adapted to the transmission. We just hooked up the laptop. We're about 2 days out from the car show, so we're trying to get this thing ready to run. James is making some just last-minute adjustments. And
I wish Brandon was here to see this. You think I should go wake him up? It's almost midnight. It is kind of a bummer. He put in a lot of work on this thing. Not see it start. I took him off because the instructions tell you to take him off.
Just for your programming.
It's probably just in case like some freak, the controller comes on and the inverter kicks in, it just goes, gives full throttle. You never know. I'm sure that's a caution. All right, let's kick it on, and then I'll enable the traction, and we'll see if it moves.
All right. Ready?
Precharge is high voltage. So you hook this up, and you hear a click, right? You hear that click?
Oh, yeah.
That's the little relay. It's kicking the precharge on.
Okay.
Then you hook the ignition switch up, and if it precharged, you hear the contactor kick on.
Yeep.
We are good. All right, I'm going to wing it real quick.
Do it.
Let's see what. It's in neutral. Oh, this is comfortable. All right, here you go. They're moving forward?
yeah, it's going forward. There we go.
We got another one running.
So cool. So cool.
Hey.
Brakes.
Got brakes?
Yep.
This is awesome, dude. This is the engine compartment. So what you have here is a Hyper9 from NetGain Motors. Now this is a high voltage Hyper9. It's a 144 volt system. The orange wires represent your high voltage wiring. This is your controller. And then the motor, adapter plate, clutch, pressure plate, and flywheel. And you can look on one of our other videos and it shows you how to make this adaptation. Now this motor is capable of 175 foot-pounds and 125 horsepower.
So we split the batteries between the rear and the front of the car to balance it out. 3 Tesla modules are in this custom-built bulkhead back here, and then 4 batteries are in the front. Liquid cooling, pump, reservoir are all in front.
One of the things I wanted to point out, on these cooling systems, they use a special type of coolant. Now this is a non-conductive coolant, and it's commonly sold at like an O'Reilly's or an AutoZone, but you do want to use a special coolant, especially when you're working around these batteries.
So, to stick with where the original filler was, instead of filling with gasoline, we will fill it full of electrons. Alright, so we put the 12 volt battery. Since it doesn't need a full-size lead acid battery, we put a 12 volt dry cell in a compartment here. And on that side, there is another compartment that has the low voltage fuse block and also a little bit of storage. So we know the car's not totally done. It's still missing some pieces, but it is going back to its owner. He's going to finish it out. But what we did, we put a 2-tone paint job on it, red and white. Put these custom, the HID headlights, fiberglass bumpers, that custom bulkhead. We did install a seat so we'd have something to drive it around with.
Does it have seatbelts?
No seatbelts at all.
We die like men. Okay, ready? I think
It's already on. You don't have to start.
Ready?
Woo!
Got black marks on the floor. Don't worry, we're driving on rough road right now.
Yeah.
And there's no insulation in this car whatsoever, but there's zero engine
Or seatbelts or brake lights or
yeah.
anything you need to really drive a car around. It might not even be registered. I don't know.
We're coming around a curve, so let me watch where I'm going here. Man, this thing gets it, dude.
It does get it, yeah.
And remember, we haven't tried the brakes yet, so it's official. We've made it a mile.
Furthest to 6 years. Woo.
Considering it has zero insulation, no carpet, no interior, almost no weather stripping, and we're driving on a rough road,
And
it's pretty quiet.
That's his first drive ever.
It's the first drive ever. And I have to say I'm pretty impressed with this. I'm really happy with this one. And this is where the magic happens.